Hey guys, now before this video begins, I want to just ask you guys real quickly to come down here to where this bell is and make sure to actually hit it. That way you can get all of my notifications enabled for this channel so that you can see all of my videos as they come out, because YouTube seems to be doing something recently where even if you're subscribed to me, you won't be able to see all of my videos. So come here, click the check right here, send me all notifications for this channel, and save. And that way, you'll be able to see all of my notifications for all of my videos. Now, additionally, you can go up here to your YouTube creator icon, and you can click on your YouTube settings to come here to your notifications. And that way, you can come to this box and make sure that it's unclicked. Now, normally, it'll be clicked like this, but you need to actually unclick it. That way you could see all of my notifications, because YouTube just is kind of weird about that kind of thing. So make sure to do this so you can see all my videos in the future, and stay tuned for the review. Hey guys, it's Mike here, and welcome to another edition of Dragon Ball Super Reviews, in which I'm going to be giving my thoughts and my review of Dragon Ball Super Episode 61, telling you what happened during the episode, and then giving my thoughts onto what I liked, what I disliked, and whether or not I thought this was a good episode. So without further ado, let's jump into this review and talk about what happened, because a lot of stuff certainly happened during this episode. So this episode left off in the same place that last week's episode left off in, with Black revealing that he is actually Zamasu in Goku's body, and that he switched bodies with Goku using the Super Dragon Balls. And so this week we actually got to see through flashbacks and through the animation what happened and how the events really unfolded. We saw how Zamasu, the Black now in the past, is actually the main timeline. Zamasu, and he is the one that fought Goku that we saw in Dragon Ball Super. And after he had fought Goku, he inevitably went on to kill his master Gowasu and steal his earring so that he could become the new Kaioshin, and then steal the time ring, with the new Kaioshin label being able to allow him to use the time ring in the first place. And with the first act of using that time ring, he jumped forward 1 year into the future, because he couldn't use the Super Dragon Balls at that time because they need 1 year of a cooldown, so that he could use the Super Dragon to switch his body and mind with Goku's. So essentially, he had inhabited now his mind and his spirit within Goku's body, and vice versa. And we did actually see Goku switch his bodies, and he's actually now looking like Zamasu on Earth, farming with Goten, farming with, Chi-Chi in the background. And we got to see a really disturbing sight actually happen next up, because Zamasu came to the Earth and he killed Goku in Zamasu's body right in front of Chi-Chi and Goten. And then immediately after that, he killed Chi-Chi and Goten using that psionic or Keyblade of his. And it was certainly a really disturbing scene, and something that shows just how much of an evil person this Zamasu, this Black, really is. But after that, he wasn't done, as he went to the History of Trunks timeline and met with the future Zamasu, the other Zamasu who they were fighting with up until this point, and the one who is immortal. And once he was there, he killed Gowasu for that Zamasu, because Zamasu in that timeline had never met Goku, because Goku had died from the heart virus. So he killed him and gave him the other earring and promoted him to the rank of Kaioshin. And it was at this point that they had gone to the Super Dragon, and they had wished to make Zamasu immortal so that he would have an immortal body and he could no longer be killed. And then I guess they started to enact that Zero Mortals plan of theirs, as they went around and killed every single god in the History of Trunks alternate timeline universe, or multiverse as it were. And it seems like they are in fact confirming that the universes, or the timelines, have all the universes contained within them, as opposed to simply being like one universe or one timeline that exists within a universe, like parallel to that universe or something. Now, they don't really explain how they killed all of the mortals, or how they killed all the gods actually, but I assume that in the manga it's probably the same thing here, where as in the manga, Black and perhaps Zamasu went around and started started to kill every single god because they were killing the Kaioshins because of the link between them, which was actually established in this arc, which is a good bit of foreshadowing and a good bit of storytelling on Akira Toriyama's part. So I would assume in this case they also went from Kaioshin realm in each universe to Kaioshin realm in each universe, killing all of the Kais, and really, who could stop them? I mean, Zamasu is the only badass Kai we've really seen so far who could really make much of a difference. I mean, the strongest Kais, or Supreme Kais really, we've ever seen were the ones who were killed by Majin Buu, and Majin Buu is like a flea to these characters right now. Like, Goku and Vegeta could just stomp him in their base forms, and Zamasu and Black are fighting them as Super Saiyan Blues. Now, obviously, throughout this episode, we also saw some awesome demonstrations of Zamasu's power through his immortality. Like, there was such awesome scenes that we saw them execute this. For example, like Goku, after he had heard about some of what had happened, he flew up actually to attack Zamasu and Black, and Zamasu just teleported right in front of him. Goku blasted Zamasu in the head, like vaporizing his head, but as soon as it was vaporizing, it was also regenerating. So basically, through that smoke, the second the smoke cleared, his whole head had regenerated, and he was no worse for wear at all, which continued to demonstrate throughout this entire episode that this immortality is really true immortality. In the Dragon Ball sense of the immortality means you're basically invincible. It makes up like any kind of power differentiation, it seems like, and nobody can really beat you in terms of a straight up fight. And it's very reminiscent of what we saw with Garlic Jr., except as we can tell, this arc is a lot better demonstrated and a lot better executed than the Garlic Jr. arc. But apparently that wasn't all, as after Zamasu and Black had made that wish for Zamasu to be immortal, they decided that they no longer wished for the Dragon Balls to be, I guess, used against them, or they no longer desired to use their power, so they actually destroyed the Super Dragon Balls, which is another great thing that they're doing now. I would assume that those might be the Super Dragon Balls from the History of Trunks timeline, although, you know, maybe they transcend timelines or something. You know, maybe they exist only like those Super Dragon Balls in every timeline simultaneously, or perhaps they destroyed the main timelines. We don't really know right yet, but I would assume that's the future Trunks ones. But that's another great little thing that they did in this episode, where they are attempting to add more of the tension back into the show. You know, I mean, this arc has already been significantly more tension filled. There's been such bigger stakes. I mean, Zamasu and Black killed every single god in the History of Trunks timeline, and they also went on to talk about how they've already killed countless mortals throughout the universe. So really, when you think about it, like, they've already kind of accomplished their entire goal, like, up until this point, you know? Like, they've pretty much already won. They've already killed all the gods, they've already killed, like, every mortal in the universe, and now they came to Earth because Earth essentially epitomizes to them all the issues with mortals. The wars, doing stuff that violates the laws of even the gods themselves, and they really even get into that latter part, as basically, you know, throughout this episode, Black and Zamasu are fighting Goku and Vegeta, as well as Trunks, and they're basically dominating them. But after Goku learned about Black and Zamasu killing Goten Chi-Chi, he snapped, he freaked out, and he went after them, powering up even more so than before, and he was actually dominating them. There was an awesome little shot and a little scene in which he just backhands Zamasu through a building, like, casually, which would make sense. I mean, still, again, even with immortality, Zamasu should not be on the level of Black and Goku, and he just starts hammering away on Black. But that wasn't all, because Goku actually goes and just wants to smash Black right in the face, punching him as hard as he can, but he isn't even able to, as Black actually blocks his hit. And once again, it seemed as if Black had gotten yet another kind of mid-battle Zenkai boost, or whatever he happens to be getting with Goku's body. They haven't really explained how that works, or really, you know, what is the difference here, because it doesn't doesn't seem like Goku really powers up the way that they're making it seem like Black continues to do so. And if they're Zenkai boosts, then why haven't they mentioned them for every single character, as well as, actually explained why Black is getting them mid-battle as opposed to getting them after a battle is over? But regardless, Black starts to straight up dominate Goku, blasting him through that stab wound he had given him earlier, putting it through Zamasu when he was explaining the whole story of how he killed Goten and Chi-Chi and even him in his body. And then he actually creates an even bigger energy sword than before and does this awesome technique in which he fills Goku with these weird energy blades or poles and then detonates them by doing this cool pose and makes Goku actually fall out of the sky onto the ground, pretty much defeated. And it was at this point that Zamasu and Black moved on to trying to fight Trunks and Vegeta, and they were going to wipe them out, and Trunks had said, well, you guys are nothing more than murderers. What you're doing is nothing more than murder. And Black spoke up and he had said, well, your sins are even greater than my own. Because apparently Zamasu and Black said that one of the biggest reasons why they started to enact their Zero Mortals plan is because of the fact that Trunks time traveled in the past. Essentially, they blamed everything on Trunks, saying that because Trunks went to the past and gave Goku the heart virus medicine, saving him during the Cell Saga, everything was able to lead up to where Goku fought against Zamasu in his own realm, setting everything in motion to where he wanted Goku's body and they wanted to wipe out all of humanity. And the reason why they view the Earth as basically the epitome of every single thing they think that is wrong with mortals, and why they want to exterminate all of them as a part of their Zero Mortals plan. Now at this point, Trunks steps up saying that he'll fight Black alone, telling Vegeta that he can take on Zamasu, which was an awesome little moment for Trunks because the fact that, it further helps to develop him. It looked like Vegeta, the way he was looking at him, was, shocked. He was saying, this guy's way out of your league, but I'm sure that somewhere deep down in Vegeta, he was also probably proud of his son, because Trunks really was acting more like a real Saiyan, wanting to fight someone more powerful than him, and basically saying, oh, I don't care even if I die, as long as we both die together, then I will get my victory over him. And it was just an awesome moment, another reason why I love Future Trunks as a character, although he was immediately beaten down by Black, blasted straight through, and dropped to the ground. But that wasn't all, as Trunks once again showed us yet another awesome transformation scene as he raged out, freaking out on the ground. A giant pillar of yellow light shot up into the sky, and it appeared that Trunks took on an entirely new form. At first, his muscles pumped up with the energy, but then it looked like they once again got smaller, almost as if he was compressing all of that power into a small space. But then his aura changed as well, as he became encompassed by these blue sparks of lightning, but also it appeared that not only did he have the aura of a Super Saiyan, but beneath that aura, which was covered by the Super Saiyan aura, he also seemed to have the aura of a Super Saiyan Blue. Now, I know the first thing on everyone's mind after the episode was, how exactly does this work? Is this really a new transformation? Is it a step beyond Super Saiyan Blue and even Super Saiyan God? Or is it something in between? Is it something more akin to, say, the false Super Saiyan from the Lord Slug movie? Or is Trunks somehow both a Super Saiyan and a Super Saiyan Blue simultaneously? Or maybe something even more ridiculous, to where Trunks is a Super Saiyan Blue that went Super Saiyan on top of it, making him a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or something along that line. Your guess inevitably is as good as mine, so let me know your own thoughts about this down below in the comments section, as well as your own thoughts about the episode in general. Overall, I thought this was an awesome episode, a really great episode, and I don't really have too many cons about it. The only thing is, I wish that again they would reference the idea of Zenkais for the other Saiyans perhaps, and also there was a little bit of a scene where when Zamasu had transferred his body with Goku, he was standing in space, so again, that does seem a little bit inconsistent from what they're telling us. I don't think that just because he took over Goku's body, he could suddenly, float around in space using a Saiyan form. It's not like switching his mind and spirit with Goku's into Goku's body would suddenly give him the ability to breathe in space or to speak in space or anything like that. Although just mentioning that, I'm sure that there's going to be a million people down below in the comments telling me, Mike, they can't breathe in space, they're not actually in space, somehow the Super Dragon created his own atmosphere and oxygen around him because of how gigantic he is, so it doesn't even affect them. so you shouldn't even bring this up at all, Mike. And I'm not even saying whether they can or can't breathe in space, or whether or not they can or can't exist in space. I'm not talking about that at all. All I'm saying in this show is, again, being a little bit inconsistent about that, and this show has just been inconsistent since the beginning. That's just something you have to learn to accept with this show, but I'm still going to view it as a con nonetheless. But in either case, this has been another review of Dragon Ball Super, in which I was talking about Dragon Ball Super Episode 61. Let me know your own thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share this video with your friends so we can make more videos like this in the future, and subscribe. And as I always say, stick around, because there's a lot more to come in the future.
Zamas, we coming for you, Ningen!